So, hello everyone. In this video, I'd like to briefly talk about the types of induced EMFs. Okay. If you recall, the Faraday's law, if we stated in more simplified terms, whenever a circuit cuts a magnetic field, so this is electrical circuit cuts magnetic field, EMF is induced, or whenever a magnetic field itself cuts a electrical circuit, then also EMF is induced. So this is what is just in crude ways if you mention what is the Faraday's law. Okay. So in this first one, the circuit is cutting the magnetic field. That means the field is stationary. So let me just write it. So field is stationary, whereas the circuit is moving. Okay. So a moving electrical circuit is cutting the stationary magnetic field, then EMF is induced. That EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. Dynamically induced EMF. So whereas if you consider the other case, field is cutting the electrical circuit or the circuit is stationary and the field is moving. Okay. So magnetic field which is moving cutting a stationary circuit, it is called statically induced EMF. Okay. So there are these two types of induced EMF: dynamically induced EMF and statically induced EMF based on these two things. Okay. So if you recall the example which you have taken, so where I mentioned that the coil is placed in the on the table and then the magnet is placed and then the magnet is moving, and when the magnet is moving some EMF is induced which can be picked up by the galvanometer and so on. So this kind of experiment which I was explaining, this is the case example of statically induced EMF because the coil is not moving, the magnet is moving. Okay, so this is this example. There are other cases where the magnetic field is fixed and then the coil is moving. That's called dynamically induced EMF. Let's look at what is this dynamic induced EMF. Maybe I'll do it in the next video. This I just wanted to introduce the difference between what is dynamic induced EMF and what is static induced EMF. I hope you understood the this thing. You might ask a weird doubt that what if both the circuit and field both are moving and then related to each other there is a relative motion, and because of that there is an EMF induced. Then what kind of EMF induced is that? Okay, so imagine that the coil is moving from right to left at let's say 5 centimeters per second, and the magnet is moving from left to right, let's say 20 centimeters per second. Then which case does it come under? Okay, so that could be a weird doubt one can have, but then this is just the definition. Dynamic induced EMF and static is only for our convenience purpose. Okay. So if you are interested in calculating how much voltage is there, you would use the relative motion, that is 25 centimeters per second, and calculate the voltage. Okay. So I think this is what is this video short. Let's see more videos later.